only son based on Genesis chapter 22, verses 1 through 19. And it came to pass after these things that God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham? And Abraham said, Behold, here I am. And God said, Take now your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I will tell you. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his donkey and took 2 of his young men with him and Isaac his son, and secured the wood for the burnt offering, rose up and went to the place of which God had told him. Then on the 3rd day Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said to his young men, Stay here with the donkey. I and the lad will go yonder and worship and come again to you. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son. And he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and they went both of them together. And Isaac spoke to Abraham, his father, and said, My father, where's the lamb? And Abraham said, My son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together. And they came to the place of which God had told him of. And Abraham built an altar there and laid the wood in order and bound Isaac his son and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son. And the angel of the Lord called to him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And Abraham said, Here am I. And the angel said, Don't lay your hand upon the lad, neither do anything to him. For now I know that you fear God, seeing you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there was behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the place of his son. And Abraham called the name of the place Jehovah-Jireh. And the angel of the Lord called to Abraham out of heaven the 2nd time and said, By myself I have sworn, says the Lord, because you have done this thing and have not withheld your son, your only son, that in blessing I will bless you, and in multiplying I will multiply your seed as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore. And your seed will possess the gate of his enemies, and in your seed all the nations of the earth will be blessed, because you obeyed my